All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our ninth live stream of the year. I'm Cooper, and I'm here joined with both of the guys tonight as we are going to have a great show for you. We are going to be going over the Week 9 slate, and we're going to be going over the Week 10 slate. So, without further ado, CJ, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Um, Trent, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you, Cooper?
Stop. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Um, so we will start off with talking about some of the games from last week. Um, and we will start off with Saturday Night Football, the biggest game of the week. Texas A&M at LSU at night at Death Valley. This one was a second half domination for Texas A&M. Um, I'll start off with you, CJ. What did you think about this game?
This is a great game for Marcel Reed. He really showed he's honestly number one in my Heisman candidate voting, and that's like the biggest takeaway I had from this game. And that might be a crazy shout since we're mid into the year, but yeah.
All right, Trent, what do you have to add to this game?
Yeah, I agree. Marcel Reed looked really good. Really showed LSU's weaknesses, and it's kind of why Brian Kelly doesn't have a job right now.
All right. Yep. I agree. This was a tale of two halves, I think. Looking at it, LSU was up heading into the second half, but it was really just Texas A&M's complete domination of the second half that really took this game by hold. You look at it, it really kind of stood out was Texas A&M's defense. They were able to get 7 sacks compared to LSU's zero. They were able to convert well on third downs. They were 70% on third downs, and LSU was 2 for 13. Um, Marcel Reed, like CJ said, was doing amazing. He had 2 interceptions early, which was pretty bad, but overall he did really good. 205, 2 touchdowns, and he had over 100 rushing yards. So really impressive stat line of over 200 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. Really good day for him. He had, I believe, 4 touchdowns total. And this was really just if you were really watching the game, you kind of saw LSU kind of stumbled into the lead. They had a block punt that led to a safety. They were able to get 2 picks and really convert and take advantage of some of those mistakes that Texas A&M made early. But late, they were able to really just seize this LSU team and just completely dominate in the second half. Which leads to kind of the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway from this game was Brian Kelly getting fired after this game Sunday night. So I'll ask you, CJ, what do you think on what happened after the game? Um, Talking about Brian Kelly getting fired.
I think honestly, we've been saying it the whole time. Just Brian Kelly isn't really the right fit for LSU. By no means is he a bad coach or anything, but I think his fit has never been great as he's been here for like the past 4 years. And I think like the biggest takeaway people are like knocking him for is just Garrett Nussmeier's like regress in his play style. He was a probably gonna be like the sixth or seventh quarterback off the board this year in the draft, but just after his play this year, we just really don't see that happening anymore. And just like he never really has a relationship with his players, so we've seen in the media. It's just like it's never been a good fit. So it's been a long time coming.
Yep. Trent, what would you have to add on to Brian Kelly getting fired?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of really saw it coming. With it going into a bye week this week, you knew that was kind of a make or break game for Brian Kelly. We called it earlier. Your CJ called it earlier in the season or preseason. That might be happening, but yeah, I mean, you kind of saw it coming just with a bye week. Like he said, there's really no. He just wasn't really a good LSU fit. No relationship with the players. Have you seen like what was his name? The guy that he got cancer or whatever. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
yeah, he had a brain tumor.
He had a brain tumor.
Yeah, and there
And
was
had-
a story that Brian Kelly went to the dude's house, was on the phone, he showed really no remorse.
Yeah, he did say it, yeah.
With Tyron Lacey as well.
Yeah. So not really doesn't have much Southern hospitality, if you want to say that. So
he's a West Coast football coach.
Yeah.
And he should stay over there.
100%. Yeah, I agree. I don't really think he's a very good fit. So, but now, how do you look forward to the rest of the season? How many players do you lose to the portal? They're kind of in a scramble right now, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was the best fit for LSU. I do think that it could have worked, but it just didn't. I think you look at it, and I mean, you look at his box stats, as I would say, 9-3. He had an SEC championship appearance. He had a winning record. It wasn't up to a championship standard. And the trajectory of the next couple of years did not look that way either. I think this was their best roster on paper heading into this year that they've had in a long time since 2019. And so you look at all of those things combined, and you look at the record now being, I believe, 5-3, and just it has not panned out. The offense does not look good. The defense looks okay, but it's lacking in some areas. And so this was, I think, probably the move, because I do think heading into next year, you're going to be able to get a good head coaching hire compared to, I would say, you'd have a better shot at doing it compared to a Penn State or a Florida State or an Auburn or an Arkansas. I'd say LSU and Florida are probably the two best jobs open right now. And so I think out of those two, you could possibly get a Lane Kiffin or somebody else that could possibly put you in a better direction. And so that's kind of the question that I like to ask when you fire a coach. It's, will you be able to get a better coach that can put you in a better situation that you're in than you're in right now? And so I think LSU is going to be able to do that. It's going to cost them a lot of money, $50-something million, but
$54 million is his buyout.
54, second biggest buyout ever. And so, you kind of look at that and you're just like, I guess you got to take it. You got to take it when you can, because I mean, Brian Kelly really, it did not seem like a good fit. And I think that heading into the next couple of years, we're going to look back on this and see either if this is going to be a really good decision for LSU or not. I think that this is going to be a good decision for them. I think this was the right move. I do think they're going to be able to bounce back from this, but we'll see. But for Texas A&M, after this win, this was a big win for them. This was kind of the big game that kind of could prove if they would be in a playoff position or not. And I think after this game, they've kind of proved that they're playoff bound. And so they've got a couple more games, but I think they'll be able to make it into the playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah, I think for LSU, this was the right decision. But as we know, the coaching world is like pretty slim right now as it is. So my guess for probably the next job will probably have to go like to Dan Lanning. I think that's my number one for LSU right now.
And another thing, how do Florida's fans feel now about their coaching search? They might be option number 2 now.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot more. I think this is going to be the craziest coaching carousel season that we've had in a while. If you look at it, you've got Penn State, Florida, LSU, Arkansas, most likely Auburn, most likely Florida State, and then there's probably going to be a couple other teams that we aren't even thinking of that might pull the trigger. UNC, we'll see what happens there with Bill Belichick. There's going to be a lot of different jobs that are going to open up, and it's going to be interesting to see how they get filled. So we will move on to the next game that we're going to go over, and this one was a pretty good one. This was high noon kickoff here in Norman, Oklahoma. Ole Miss at Oklahoma, 34-26. Ole Miss beats Oklahoma in a kind of a shootout-esque game, but it was really interesting to watch. CJ, what are your thoughts on this game?
I like your description. It was kind of a shootout game, but as we both know, both defenses really aren't up to par. I'd say both quarterbacks were a little bit inconsistent in this game, but Trinidad Chambliss did play pretty exceptionally well. But he did go 24 for 44, which is something a little alarming in the Ole Miss offense. But they do throw the ball around the yard quite a ton. Yeah, but just like Oklahoma's time of possession wasn't great. Really efficient though. They had no scoring drives over 10 plays, and most of their offense came from very explosive plays with 2 touchdowns with 65 plus yards. So as we see maybe an improvement in Ole Miss's defense throughout the year, we don't see many high scoring games from opposing teams as we just eliminate not so explosive plays.
All right, Trent, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I agree. For me, it just kind of felt like Oklahoma was right there, but you kind of knew they weren't going to be able to pull it off. John Mateer still does not really look 100%. I think he's in there too a little too early. I think he started 13 days after that hand surgery, so I don't think that's a very good move on Oklahoma's part. But I guess we'll see coming into this week how that goes. And I think Ole Miss was just generally the better team. Just got outplayed.
Yeah, I agree with you. This was a pretty good game from Ole Miss's defense. You look at it; they dominated the time of possession. They looked to be more consistent on offense. Trinidad Chambliss going 24 for 44, not too efficient through the air, but he was able to get 315 off of that, 1 touchdown, and he had over 50 yards rushing. So pretty good game from him. And John Mateer, ever since that broken hand incident, he has not looked the part. You look at it, and Oklahoma was not able to really piece together a coherent touchdown drive. They had a couple really good explosive plays. They had that big 65-yard rushing touchdown, and then Santega went for I believe 77 off of a broken tackle, and so they were able to get some good explosive touchdown drives. But other than that, they were really, you kind of saw as you were watching this game that they weren't able to really piece together a good offensive drive. And so Ole Miss's defense really did have some improvements, and that was kind of the question heading into this game, is that both of these teams really didn't have great defenses, and so it was kind of the question of which one was going to give out. And you kind of saw that both of them really were not too great, but Ole Miss has really kind of stepped up and was able to prove themselves, and I think that was kind of the key to this game for Ole Miss, even though Trinidad Chambliss did really good.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a year we look back on for John Mateer and just think, what if he never gets hurt and has to have a hand surgery? Because he was probably the Heisman frontrunner before this all happened. Now he's just kind of playing subpar at the quarterback position.
Well, and to be fair, you look at it, I mean, Oklahoma's back half of the season is a gauntlet. And so their first 6 games, or their first 5 games when they went 5-0, it really weren't that hard. I mean, apart from the Michigan game and, maybe the Auburn game, but Auburn really hasn't been looking too great. And so, now, I mean, I could see them maybe going 6-6, after this performance against Ole Miss. Their offense was kind of the whole cornerstone of their team. And now that that's kind of fallen apart and John Mateer's not able to look him like himself, it kind of is very concerning. And so Ole Miss really needs to kind of put it together, because they lose another one, they're out of the playoff race. But honestly, I wouldn't even have playoffs on the radar for them with the schedule that they have in front of them. All right. Well, we will move on to the third game that we're going to talk about. And this was probably, I would say, the best game of the week. This was a almost upset alert. We are talking about Alabama at South Carolina. Final score of this one being 29-22. Alabama wins. CJ, I'll start off with you here. What are your thoughts on this game?
We both know our thoughts on this game because we watched it together, but South Carolina was right there. And let's talk about Alabama first. Alabama and this Kalen DeBoer effect. Kalen DeBoer is a good fit as a head coach, but we have to handle business. Well, not we. They have to handle business when the stakes aren't high. This shouldn't have been a close game. South Carolina's been playing very subpar football, and they are unranked for a reason. But and South Carolina tried to keep Alabama in this game, but Alabama's offense has just been so stagnant, especially in the first half of football games. So in this game, it caught up to them, and South Carolina got some momentum going later in the second half. But again, they gave the game away with Norris Ellis fumbling the ball. Just a very sloppy football game, but really entertaining for us. And I think if Alabama can just learn to handle games that really don't matter as much in their season, they will be a better program for the next coming years.
Yep, yep. All right, Trent, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think this game really shows what happens to Alabama when you can force them to be one-dimensional on offense. Ty Simpson had to throw the ball 43 times, which they are a pass-first offense. But when you take that run game away, only having 3 yards of carry, you can really keep yourself in the game there. Just forcing the game into Ty Simpson's hands, which is not a good thing to do, but at the same time, it almost worked for South Carolina. So I really think if you can force them to stay one-dimensional, that's probably the recipe to beat this Alabama team. That's what I took away from it. The game had trap game written all over it from the beginning, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, me and CJ were saying last week that this was going to be an upset. Like this had Kalen DeBoer fail game all over it.
Yeah, we picked upset, but we picked Alabama, and I'm glad we did, so our records are a little bit safer. But it's really evident when Alabama is going to be put in a trap game, and I think if they keep playing unranked opponents after these big ranked wins, they're going to keep finding trap games year in, year out.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think, you can definitely make the excuse that this is them coming off of 4 straight ranked opponents and they won all of them, and it's been a long month. But this isn't the first time that this has happened under Kalen DeBoer, and a win is a win, but this is definitely concerning. And I think when you're doing this against South Carolina, it brings up the question, what's going to happen when you play Big Ten teams, Big Ten defenses that are going to take away your run game as well, kind of like what Trent was saying. It's definitely a cause for concern when you look at this game, not only because of what Alabama did on offense, but also what South Carolina did on offense. South Carolina did not play the perfect game. This was not a Louisville-Miami situation where Louisville did everything right and Miami did everything wrong. Alabama didn't throw 4 interceptions in this game. South Carolina threw a pick 6 and fumbled inside of Alabama's territory, and Alabama only ended up winning this game very closely. This was not a good game. And I felt that also South Carolina's play calling here was very kind of conservative, I would say.
I think it's really forced. I'd say it's really forced.
There was multiple times where they went ahead and went for field goals. I think they missed a field goal. There was just so many times that you're kind of scratching your head at this play calling from South Carolina, and they still were in this game. They were down 14-6, I believe, in the third quarter, and it really should have been, I would say, 28 or 21 or 28-6, or even less than that for South Carolina on the point scale. So I think this was not a good game from South Carolina in the scheme, and kind of when we're talking about what they needed to do to beat Alabama, and they still almost did. This was this really should have been a South Carolina win, especially when you're talking about it was 22-14 with under 5 minutes to go in this game. And so I think that this was a trap game. It had a trap game written all over it. But I mean, at the end of the day, Alabama did win this game, and they're kind of going to a bye week, and I guarantee you that they're going to come out of this looking amazing because Alabama's looked amazing throughout this season. They've looked great. So Yeah, that's my kind of takeaway from this game. Any other takeaways from this game?
I think you said it all. I mean, this was trap game, written all over it, and a win is a win. We can't knock them too
A
much. They
win,
did find a way to win after a hard last
a
four
win
games.
is a win. A win is a win. Um, we will give them that. So we will go to our final game of the day that we will talk about, and that one is Vanderbilt at or Missouri at Vanderbilt. Um, Final score of that game being 17-10. CJ, any thoughts on this game?
I thought this was a great defensive game, and we saw Mizzou kind of playing keep away from Vandy with their time of possession being 36 minutes to Vandy's 23. I think Mizzou had this game in control the whole game, but they just couldn't pull it off. Bo Prabula, getting injured also just really hurts the the Mizzou offense. Um, I feel like if that doesn't happen, maybe they win this game, but it's just a bunch of what ifs. I mean, Diego Pavia, of course, played his brand of football. Um, did really well in the run game with a TD. Also had a TD in the pass game. Just a really conservative football game, but Vandy comes out with the W, and they survive. So.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, for me, I'm really impressed about Vanderbilt winning a defensive game. I think Vanderbilt coming in here, but you always view Vanderbilt as they're going to beat you offensively and defense is going to hang on. That wasn't the case this game. Offense had a little bit of an off game, and defense stood their ground, which is honestly very impressive for me, especially with that recruiting. I think it's a very well-coached team, and I think they could honestly be very good going forward considering that win.
Yes, I agree. I think this was a game that I picked Vanderbilt, or I picked Missouri, and I didn't pick Vanderbilt because of Missouri's defense and what they were able to do against rushing quarterbacks. And so, looking at it, Diego Pavia, 10 for 19, 129. I think this is a true statement, but I don't think Diego Pavia has thrown for over 200 passing yards against a Power 4 opponent yet, and which is kind of concerning, but he's still able to do it. In this game, though, he only ran for 20 yards. He did get a touchdown, but that's an important stat. And I think if you would have told me that Diego Pavia would have only ran for 20 yards, I would have said that Missouri would have won this game. But this was a really impressive performance from Vanderbilt defensively, like you said, Trent. I think obviously an asterisk to this game is that Bo Perubula got carted off. I don't believe he broke his ankle. I believe he just sprained it, which is good. But
Yeah, results came back
you know,
negative in the media, so that was pretty good.
yeah, yeah. So that was good. But I think that either way, I think Matt Zoller's played decent enough. I would say probably played as good as Bo Perubula would have done against this Vandy defense. But I think a really important stat was looking at Ahmad Hardy, and I'm seeing what Vanderbilt was going to do against the run, and they stacked up pretty well against it. Under 5 yards per rush, 20 rushes, 97 yards, and they didn't give up a touchdown to Ahmad Hardy. So this was a really good performance defensively by Vanderbilt. But I'm very interested to see what they do against Texas next week on the road. Notably, they lost to Alabama on the road last week, or not last week, but a couple weeks ago. And so I'm going to be interested to see what they do then. All right. Anything else to add to any of these games from last week?
I think we did a good job. Touched on everything. We'll touch on a little bit more of the Brian Kelly situation, I guess, a little bit later. So.
Yeah. All right. We will go ahead and look at the AP poll from this week, and we'll kind of talk about some of the playoff scenarios because we are getting to November. We are getting to that part of the season where it's getting close to playoff time. So as we go over the AP poll this week, we'll kind of talk about the playoff scenarios for some of these teams that are on the bubble, and we'll kind of talk about that. So we'll go ahead and start with that. So Ohio State being number one and Indiana being number two, those are the top two teams in the Big Ten, the top two teams in the country. These guys look like they're on a crash course for the Big Ten championship. Um, and then the rest of the top five is Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. So this is very interesting because the SEC kind of stacks in the top 10 with Ole Miss and Vanderbilt being there too. It's going to be very interesting to see who makes the SEC championship and how the other teams are placed once the end of the season happens and the playoff committee ranks the teams that didn't make the SEC championship against the teams that did. Any thoughts on the top 10, CJ?
Wait, I'm muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the top 10 is pretty spot on. I wouldn't change anything. I would probably flip Miami and BYU, but other than that, I'd say this is pretty spot on.
I believe Miami and BYU are tied.
Yeah, it says 10 and 10. I've never. Have we seen this before?
I think it happens sometimes.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot. Yeah, 10 and 10. Wow.
Very weird.
Yeah, very weird, but hey, 8-0 Georgia Tech at number 8. That's kind of crazy to see. A new ACC contender.
Georgia Tech's really good. I think that they have played in some close games, but I think everybody's played in some close games once you get down to it this year. So I think Georgia Tech's looked really solid. I think that Georgia Tech versus Georgia game at the end of the year is going to be really fun to watch and to see how Georgia Tech plays against Georgia, because I do think that Georgia Tech will win out their next 3 games and be 11-0 heading into that game. So that'll be interesting to see. And I think, like you said, CJ, everything's properly rated. Trent, do you see anything from this top 10 that you would change?
No, I really agree with everything. Not much really to argue with.
All right, well then what about the 11 through 20? What do you see there?
What'd you say?
What about 11 through 20? What do you see there, if anything?
Let's look. We moved up 3 spots. Now we're at 14. Honestly, Virginia coming in at 15, fighting for a playoff spot. That's very alarming to see. The ACC championship could get a little rocky about who's going to be in those top 2 this year. Honestly, I mean, everything 11 through 20 is pretty much, 15 through 20 is pretty much expected. I see nothing crazy here. So we have 4 teams coming from not ranked, though, coming to the 22 through 25 spot. And it looks like Memphis is going to get that G5 spot this year since they just beat USF. If they went out.
Navy's right up there, though. I will say Navy is undefeated, and there's a big game this weekend between Navy and North Texas. That's a G5 playoff eliminator game. Okay?
That is true.
Okay.
That has huge playoff implications.
It does, objectively.
It's crazy because you think like 3 or 4 years ago we wouldn't be saying that.
But now it is.
Navy in North Texas
crazy.
has
and something else I would like to add, I mean, you look at some of these rankings, I think something that's notable is that Notre Dame and Tennessee being this high is very, very interesting just because of the I think that these AP voters are projecting where they're going to be instead of what we have seen on the field from these teams. I think that when you look at it, Notre Dame.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's frozen just like that.
Right now?
Oh, sorry. Trent's having technical difficulties.
The little technical difficulties from Trent here.
Oh gosh.
Golly. Golly. Trent's a little frozen up, but anyway.
Just because I'm a 4%. This is
Y'all might have to converge.
Yeah, we might have to get on the same one, but
Anyway, back to what I was saying.
Can you hear me?
Turn that thing off. Holy cow. Dude, he's filming on a potato. God,
Hello?
what are you doing? Dude, quit it. God.
but yeah. The top
Anyway.
25.
Hey, no, we're
watch
not
out for
glossing over.
this 22 through 25. Let's watch out. That's all I gotta say.
Let me get back to what I was saying. I think Notre Dame and Tennessee are a little bit overranked. I think that they really are being overprojected because of what these voters think that they're going to be. And when you look at what they've done on the field and who they have beaten, it really just doesn't stack up. I think Notre Dame, they really have not beaten anybody notable. If you look at their schedule, they've beaten Boise State. They have beaten USC, so they do have more of a better win than Tennessee does. But they really have not beaten a whole lot of people, and I think they're just getting the benefit of the doubt because of their 2 losses. So I think, and then you look at Tennessee, they really they've lost to 2 really good teams, but then you look at it, and they've barely won in overtime against Mississippi State, Arkansas, 2 very lackluster SEC teams, and I mean they really have gotten an easy schedule this year as far as SEC teams are concerned. So I think that this Oklahoma game is going to be big for Tennessee. And then I think their Vanderbilt game is going to be pretty big as well. So I think they're both kind of overrated a little bit. Somebody's protesting. I don't know who it is, but I do think that they are a little bit overranked. I think you look at it, teams like maybe Louisville, Cincinnati. I think should be possibly put over ahead of Tennessee, even like Oklahoma, which I mean, you look at the eye test, I think it's arguable because of the wins that they've had throughout the season. I think it's kind of absurd that Texas is in the rankings. I think that you look at that, and Texas really has not shown to be that impressive of a team, even against Mississippi State. They barely won. They were down 17 in the 4th quarter. They barely won that game. They've not looked the part in any single game so far this year. And I think, except for the Oklahoma game, I will give them that. But other than that, you look at the Kentucky game, you look at the Mississippi State game, I don't think they're a top 25 team. They'll get to prove it against Vanderbilt, and I do think that they match up well against Vanderbilt. But right now, I don't think they're a top 25 team either.
Okay,
so
Texas is not a top 25 team, but Tennessee, losing one really close game, arguably a win. Besides,
I'm not okay. I'm not saying that they're
a kicker's a kicker. That eliminate that game. We lost a bad game to Alabama. Those are 2 top 5 teams. Arguing that Cincinnati should be over Tennessee, in my eyes, is just blasphemy.
I think Cincinnati has played very solid this year, and I think they're right now.
So what are you
if you look at
played?
Oh, you want to? Oh, okay. You want to go there?
You're
just wait till Tennessee whoops up on Oklahoma this week.
Yeah, you're sitting here arguing, saying Tennessee has played lackluster.
I'm just saying, based off of what has happened so far, Tennessee should maybe be ranked a little bit lower.
You said what?
I think based off of what Tennessee has done so far, they should be ranked a little bit lower.
So you could say I'm not saying that for Cincinnati.
I think Cincinnati's properly rated. I think you look at it; they lost their opening game,
Cooper,
and then they beaten
teams 18 through 22 will give Cincinnati a old-fashioned butt whooping. They are just there because of their record. They have played absolutely nobody. It's Cincinnati. I mean, just because of the 12-team playoff, they have to show respect to teams like to smaller teams that do well in their preferred conference.
Is it their fault that they've not played anybody yet? I
So
mean,
why
are we?
bashing Tennessee that they played like nobody?
I'm telling you, I'm
Played
not
two
bashing them.
top-five
I'm
teams.
saying that they have not beaten anybody in their schedule where they've played people. They've not shown up in those games. They showed up against Georgia, but they have not. They did not play well against Mississippi State. They did not play well against Arkansas, and
Alabama
those
did
have
well
been
against South
proven.
Carolina. And they're
Okay,
not
well
even
then
ranked.
guess what? They beat 4 ranked teams before that.
So you were just saying you don't want to hear that excuse this past week, but now you're giving them that excuse.
I'm in that scenario. Kalen DeBoer has shown that he has played poorly against those teams. That was a different example.
It's the exact same.
I'm telling you right now, Tennessee's ranked a little bit too high. That's all I'm saying.
Who should be ranked above us? Literally no one. Can you name one team, 15 through 25, that should be ranked above us? And I swear on everything, do not say Virginia. Do not say Virginia.
I'm saying Louisville. I'm saying Virginia.
Turn off the
I'm saying Cincinnati. I'm saying Missouri. I'm saying Houston. And that's it. And I'm putting down Washington too. I think Washington should be ranked high.
Oh my God.
I like Washington.
Washington?
Oh my God.
Yep. Washington's good.
You really think Washington's good?
This is such blasphemy. Washington, Missouri, the Mizzou. So if we're like the Jordan Travis situation, since Bo Prubler just got hurt, so is that not more reason to knock them like more than like one spot? They just lost, and they just lost their quarterback. We'll call it Jordan Travis rule.
He'll be back. And also the AP did not rank. The AP did not do the college football rankings, by the way.
Still, I think an accurate representation, like we've been saying the past couple of weeks, what I've been saying, is the coaches poll as well. And I'd say the coaches poll is pretty accurate. And some years it's been more accurate than just the AP poll.
So let me ask you this: where should Tennessee be?
I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't be outside the top 20. I'm just saying that they should probably be around
I hope you wouldn't be saying that. I just where do you if
I'm just saying based off of rankings.
In your perfect world,
based off of rankings.
18. Let's just hear.
You want me to go?
18.
Okay. All right. 12 through 18. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say BYU's 11.
Let's go 13
okay, we'll
through
go
18, since the 12 are the playoff
13 through 18. I'll go. Yeah. Okay, I'll go 13. I'll move down Notre Dame 1. I'll move Louisville up to 14. I'll keep Virginia at 15. I'll put Cincinnati to 16. I'll put Tennessee down to 17. Oklahoma 18.
Turn off the stream. Should turn off the stream.
It's, in the words of other people, it's a ranking, not a power rating. Just say that.
Who is Virginia beat by your logic? They beat North Carolina
Florida State, and Florida State beat Alabama. Florida State beat Alabama, and they beat Florida State.
North Carolina by 1 point. Wait, what'd you say?
They beat Florida State, and Florida State beat Alabama.
To anybody watching, I can't see our viewer count because that's only Cooper can see it. I hope you know that
it's not a lot.
Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. They beat UNC by 1 score. They beat UNC by 1 score. Washington State, no, not even 1 score, by 1 point. They beat Washington State by 2 points. They beat Louisville by 3 points. They beat a bad Florida State team by 1 score.
Is it a W in the win column?
He was just knocking our W against Mississippi State because we struggled. We didn't even. I don't know. I just don't know. Your logic.
All right, let's move on. Let's move
everything
on.
You're saying is contradicting.
Let's
itself.
move on to our picks for this week. This is a good slate this week. Looking at it, last week Trent did not pick last week, so arguably we should just give him a red in every single column, but we've given him grace. We're just leaving it blank this week, so nothing there for Trent. But our records as of this week, me and CJ are at 75 and 42, and Trent is at 70 and 35. So I do believe if we convert it to winning percentage, Trent is still in the lead. But we got 15 games this week to pick, and anything can happen. So we will pick them here. I'm going to remove Trent from the stage, and so here we go. We are going to go off first with UNC at Syracuse. I'm going to ask you first, CJ. Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be
brawl.
I think it's going to be Syracuse. Without Steve Angeli, though, they've looked very, very subpar. I just think UNC is just so terrible where I just cannot confidently pick them. So let me just go Syracuse.
All right, Trent, who do you got in this one?
I'm going Syracuse as well. I think they're going to run the ball all over UNC.
UNC's front seven is literally paper. Wet paper.
UNC had a good showing last week against a top 15 Virginia team. But I am going to go Syracuse as well.
Tony
here.
Elliott
it's
has
at the
nobody.
Hey, don't you diss on Tony Elliott. Tony Elliott.
The ACC is buns.
He thinks we're the best conference in the nation.
I think they're the best conference to watch. They're the best conference to watch.
And why do you say that? What is your reasoning?
Because I like it. Anyway, next game, big noon Saturday. It is what would have been a really good game in September. Penn State at Ohio State. CJ, who do you got in this one?
I'll take the number one overall team, Ohio State. Penn State's still without a head coach. I don't know. It's like a chicken with its head cut off right now. So OSU. I think all of us are going to pick OSU. I can't lie.
Trent, who do you got here?
30.
Yeah.
Now, this would be crazy if Penn State beat Ohio State here, but they're not going to do that. Ohio State is going to cut the chicken with its head cut off in half at the shoe. Mentioning the shoe, go watch our latest video. It is the Ohio Stadium's loudest moments. Go like that one up. Go comment that one up.
Hey, go watch.
It's already it's blowing up. It's blowing up. And go check out all of our other videos. Thank you for watching them if you have. But make sure to go watch it. Next game is a really, really good one. It is going to be Vanderbilt at Texas. CJ, who do you have here?
I think Vandy might struggle a little bit in the run game. Diego Pavia might not find himself success running the ball, leaving the pocket in the first half, probably I'd say. But I'll still take Vandy in this game. They're just overall the better team. And Arch Manning has not been playing a good brand of football this year.
Trent, who do you got here?
Is Arch Manning back yet?
He's not. He's concussed.
Yeah.
It's Matthew Caldwell.
All right. What time does it kick off?
12 o'clock.
Oh, Vanderbilt, never mind.
I would say it's not a night game.
I'll go Vanderbilt. I think Diego Pavia. I think he plays better this week. I think he bounces back, and I think Texas is going to struggle bad offensively.
Just good.
That's it.
Yeah. Whenever Diego Pavia finds a groove, he is a top 3 quarterback in the country. Just him getting comfortable is the main thing.
They almost beat Texas last year.
Yeah.
All right. This is Where I'm going to differ from both of you guys, I would love to pick Vanderbilt here. But notably, Texas is coming back home for the first time in over a month. This team, I believe, this offense really is going to rally behind Matthew Caldwell. I think if you've watched Texas, you would kind of see that Matthew Caldwell has played really well with this Texas offense. And I think that Texas is going to thrive here at home. I think Vanderbilt's going to have a really tough task against this Texas defense this week. And so I really think that Texas is going to bring this one home. I think this is a must-win game for Texas if you're looking at it. If they lose this game, they're out of the playoff race entirely. And so I do think that this is going to be a statement win for Texas this year. I think Texas is going to win this one. And guess what? If Texas loses this one and Vanderbilt wins, I'm going to be happy because I want Vanderbilt to win. But I'm going to have to pick Texas here. All right. The next game on the docket is Miami at SMU. This is going to be a good ACC matchup here. SMU on top of the ACC standings, but Miami on top of the rankings overall. And so this is going to be very interesting to see. This is the first game that Miami has played outside of the state of Florida this entire year. So, CJ, I'll throw it to you. Who do you think is going to win this game?
I'm going to take Miami. Honestly, Kevin's in SMU. I'm just not really a huge believer, so I'm giving Miami.
Yep. All right, Trent, who do you got here?
Yeah, I'm going Miami as well. I think they're just the better team overall.
I don't even need much reasoning to pick Miami here.
Miami has struggled the last 2 weeks, notably, but I am going to go with them here. SMU did not have a good performance last week. I think beating Wake Forest 13-12 last week, and so very disappointing performance from them. But I'm going to pick Miami as well. Next game, we're going to be on site for this one atop a rocking Death Valley. It's going to be a high noon kickoff on the ACC network. Duke at Clemson. CJ, give me your prediction for this one.
Last week we said that Clemson was never going to be in our slate again, and I wish they're back. I wish they weren't, but we just bought these tickets, and I honestly haven't even thought about who's going to win. But I don't want to pick Clemson. I'm going to be honest because they always embarrass me, but I do like Clemson a lot more than Duke, so give me Clemson. The Clemson offense is just so stagnant. A firing needs to happen. Somewhere across the offensive coaching staff. If the OC gets fired, I think
Garrett Riley.
Yeah, I mean Garrett Riley. If he does get fired, I think Clemson is a much better spot. He could go join his brother at USC or something. Anything else.
All right, Trent, who do you got here?
I got Clemson. I think they're just better. I think they're stronger than Duke. I think they're going to push Duke around a little bit. I think Duke isn't ready to go into Death Valley, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to take Clemson. I think Cade Klubnik is going to play better. I don't think he's going to play good, but I think he's going to play better.
I mean, Cade Klubnik always plays a decent game against unranked teams, or Clemson is now an unranked team as well. But
I don't know if y'all are trying to jinx me here, but I don't know which Clemson y'all have been watching this year. This is not a good Clemson team. I'm debating if I should pick Duke here. I really am.
I seriously thought about it as well.
I can't do it. I really wish one of y'all would have picked Duke here, so we're not all picking Clemson. But Duke's a really good football team.
If we all go out sad on Clemson, I guess I'm okay with it.
Duke's a really good football team. They've got one of the best passing offenses, and their run game is really great. Duke is a good football team. Duke is a good football team. I don't know what's wrong here with me saying Duke's a good football team.
Yeah, and the Ale Brown Wonders are a good football team too, since we're just throwing out fibs.
I'm going Clemson, but this is going to be a big test. I mean, this is a big game. to see if they can make bowl eligibility. Like we're like dude, we're bad this year. But I am excited to go watch this game in person with CJ. This is going to be one of the first times in a while that I've gotten to go to Death Valley, so I'm very excited. So that we will be on site for that game, and we will be on site for another game. We'll get to that later. But next up, I mentioned this earlier, a big group of 5 game, Navy at North Texas. CJ, who do you got here?
Give me Navy. I think they're going to clinch their maybe clinch their G5 spot here. I think if they do pop out 8-0, their G5 spot will get in over Memphis. So I think Navy's offense is really good as well.
Just a reminder, Navy has to play Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
Could we take into account strength of schedule over these G5 spots?
I think Navy could straight up beat Notre Dame.
Wrap it up, dude. Can we just end the stream?
Trent, who do you got?
Can we just end the stream?
Maybe.
I've got North Texas.
Like, dude, this rage bait is not going to pull in viewers. Jesus Christ.
Did anybody pick Louisville when they beat Miami? This is why we play the games.
I mean, no, but like that is just like a once in like a 1 in 10.
This is why we play the games. Did anybody pick Appalachian State when they beat Michigan? No.
That was 30 years
This
ago.
is why we play the games. I think Navy could maybe beat Notre Dame.
I mean, anybody
But
can
I'm going North Texas because they have a really good passing attack. I watched them play against Charlotte. They whooped us. So next up, we are picking Arizona State at Iowa State. CJ, who do you got?
Arizona State, Iowa State, is that what you said?
Yeah, every time I pick against ASU and Sam Levitt, I always regret it. Give me ASU. Sam Levitt's been playing not his 2024 self, but he's been playing pretty good football.
Trent, who do you got?
I always view them as the same team for some reason. I don't know why. But give me Iowa State. I think Rocco Becht is going to come out there and have a good game.
Okay.
Rocco Becht is a dog. I don't know.
Arizona State.
Shout out to Sam Levitt's dad too.
Defending the hell.
Yeah, going to war for him in IG comments.
Next up, we got possibly a dogfight here. Louisville at Virginia Tech at Blacksburg. Who do you got here, CJ?
Like the fact that you say that's a dogfight and then you're saying that Louisville should be ranked top 15 is just blasphemy. Give me Louisville.
Yeah, give me Louisville. Virginia Tech sucks.
Good analysis there, Trent. Me too. I think Virginia Tech sucks.
I just thought their quarterback situation was going to be so much better.
All right, next up, what is this? The biggest cocktail party in the United States or whatever?
Biggest
or in the
outdoor
world?
thing.
Biggest outdoor cocktail party.
World's largest outdoor cocktail.
It's Georgia at Florida, but it's at Jacksonville. So, or is it somewhere different this year? I don't know. Somebody look that up. CJ, who do you got here?
Just give me Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's going to walk in there and beat the ever-living crap out of Florida.
It just really won't be close. Again, another chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah, I'll go Georgia too. I think Georgia's got this one in the bag. We will now go to Virginia at Cal. CJ, who do you got here?
I would like to see Virginia make a ACC championship appearance. So, and I think their offense, although they get kind of shut down by UNC, does have a lot of upside to it. So, I just don't know much about the Cal Bears. Give me UVA. Tony Elliott. offensive line.
That's a long flight. That's a long flight.
That is a long flight.
You, Virginia.
I'm just gonna write down my pick.
Cal lost to Virginia Tech.
I'm about to say Kyron Drones gave out the bell.
Yeah, no, they lost Virginia Tech. Give me Virginia.
I'm going Cal here.
Whoa!
I think it's a long flight. And to be fair,
Guys,
Virginia, I think in their last like 4 games,
yeah.
I think over their last 4 games, Virginia's like won by a combined like 10 points. So it's not a stretch to say they won't get lucky here and they'll lose this one. But then again, I could be completely wrong and they like blow out Cal. But I do think
Virginia's been finding a way to win. I could see this. I could see
they found a way to win.
5 hours and 14 minutes. 5 hours.
A long flight. That's a long flight.
It's a long flight.
At
the same time, they're flying.
They're going to be jet lagged. Have any of them Virginia boys ever been to California before? Probably not. Probably not. Next game. South Carolina at Ole Miss. CJ, who do you got here?
Oh wait, it's South Carolina. Ole Miss. Clinch their G what? The G spot, the G5, the G5 spot.
Oh!
All right, we're getting Diddy in the comments, and John, we're getting freaking Diddy.
Quit it, Elliot B7. That's not appropriate.
Elliot B7 over here getting Diddy on the college football pod.
This is inappropriate. All right, who are we picking?
Wait. What's the game?
What? Yeah, I already said Ole Miss.
South Carolina at Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, Ole Miss.
Yeah, we already both said Ole Miss.
South Carolina put everything they had in the last week and lost. They're going to come out here flat.
They're just fighting for nothing this season anymore. You can obviously see Shane Beamer's like disappointment on the sideline whenever something goes wrong.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you see Lenora Sellers fumble.
Yeah,
I get it. Preseason top 3, top 5 quarterback in the nation. He should not be playing as bad as he is, but also he has no supporting cast. You can just see his disappointment, which it's warranted. But every time something goes wrong, it's just he's like at a loss for words.
They're
every
dead.
single time. They have no life. They're already in next year.
Yep, I agree with you. I think Ole Miss is going to handle business. Next game we got is next game could be potential trap game here. Georgia Tech at NC State at Raleigh. CJ, who you got here? Notably, CJ Gray almost went here to start at quarterback.
That is honestly
that is true. That is true.
But
that is true.
Much love to the program, but honestly, I'd probably have to choose Haynes King and Georgia Tech. NC State's offense again has great upside. CJ Bailey is actually really good. Again, NC State's just one of those mid-tier ACC teams that kind of just gets kind of lost in the bush a little bit, but I'd say Georgia Tech goes here and handles business. Georgia Tech's defense, honestly, in their defensive line is really good, and I think Haynes King is just kind of gonna overpower the front seven at NC State. So
I'm gonna go Georgia Tech, but it's gonna be a nail biter.
Yeah, I think it's a good game.
I think you get an NC State sell job at the end in some form. I think NC State is in position to win the game and screws it.
They don't get blown out. Like they're a competitive team.
Like I'm talking like missed 26-yard field goal or like fumble, something horrible goes wrong.
But the thing about NC State is always like so mid. They like always play to their competition. Like they're playing ECU. Oh, they're going to get to a nail biter. They're playing, say, Miami. They're going to get into a nail biter. It's just they're going to play to the level of their competition. Same thing with Western Carolina a couple years ago.
I agree. I think Georgia Tech's going to win, but it'll be a good one. It'll be a good game. Throw this game on in the background of your family reunion this weekend. I think this is going to be a good one. Next up, we've got USC at Nebraska. CJ, who do you got here?
I love Dylan Royola. I'm a fan. He gets too much hate as well. Give me Nebraska. Give me Nebraska.
Whoa!
Give me Nebraska.
USC's going to walk in that trap and take over that.
No, upset.
Bad pick. They just got dog walked by Minnesota, and Minnesota just got dog walked by Iowa.
Minnesota has a really good D line. USC
they just lost 40-6 to Iowa.
Minnesota has a really good D line.
Not against Iowa.
They had one USC on its recruit.
No. They have a top 5 pick. This is my upset alert. This is my upset.
Okay. Next game. Cincinnati at Utah. Who do we got here? College game day is going here.
Why? I'm just gonna make sure you look at this one more time.
What is Utah ranked? 24.
I think
Yep.
Utah is a good football team. But for me talking trash about Cincinnati earlier, I think I have to back that up with picking Utah.
You're going to pick Utah?
Absolutely. Huh?
You're going to pick Utah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Cincinnati is a I mean, they did beat Iowa State, though. Hold on.
Okay. No. North Texas was a valid pick.
Shut up.
I don't get what we're saying here. Nebraska's a bad pick. North Texas is a good pick.
I just think give me Cincinnati. I just can't in good conscience do that.
Aw.
Yeah. Just give me Cincinnati.
Trent, who you got?
Since Cam Rising just freaking got his doctorates from Utah and he's gone, I'm gonna go with that's gonna be a good game.
How old was
But
that?
I'm still gonna go not dude, I don't know.
Cam Rising like 30.
Utah.
Wow. Look at this. What an upset pick. What an upset.
There's a few good ones.
There's a couple good games in this bunch. We will now go to Saturday Night Football. We will be on site for this one as well. It's Oklahoma at Tennessee. CJ, who you got here?
Give me the balls. Give me Joey and the balls. Is Jermod gonna be back this week? I keep seeing something that says Jermod is day-to-day still. To any Tennessee fans out there, is Jermod McCoy gonna be back this week?
No.
I keep seeing he's day-to-day.
No, I've heard Colton Hood's out.
What?
Yeah. Colton Hood might be out for this game.
What?
Check the injury report. It released at like 6 o'clock tonight. I haven't seen it.
I think, as they're checking the injury report, I think this is either going to be a shootout or Tennessee's going to absolutely dominate Oklahoma. I think that this is a big game because this is a playoff elimination game. Whoever loses this game out of the playoffs, I do think Tennessee will take this one, though, at Neyland. I think if they lose this one, it's a call to action somewhere for this team. But I do think that Tennessee will win.
Darius Jackson? Again?
Dude.
Go to that one.
But
This.
those are our picks.
I'm going to go Tennessee. Whoa. Oh, never mind. I'm going to go Tennessee. I think their D-line is going to eat Oklahoma alive. I think John Mateer, with that hand, Tennessee's like top 5 in the nation in sacks. They really get after the quarterback. I think John Mateer is going to get hit a few times, and he's going to start worrying about that hand. I think he's going to get off his game quick if Tennessee can get after him.
People don't
A key
realize
to this
John Mateer has been playing awful ever since his surgery.
a key to this game is making tackles for Tennessee. I think Oklahoma, that's where they really burn you is by getting broken tackles and being able to get a lot of yards off of that. And I believe that's what they struggled against with Kentucky. I believe they had about 200 or something yards against Kentucky with broken tackles. So I do think that if that defense can stop the broken tackles and be able to tackle properly, I think that this game's over, said and done with.
And
But
Tennessee
I do
has
think that
struggled
this,
with that. Tennessee has
yes.
struggled with. They have not
So
been
I
able to
think
tackle.
that's a way that Oklahoma can win this game, but I don't think there's a lot of ways. I think that Tennessee is more likely to win this game, but I think it's going to be an interesting watch for sure.
Yeah, Tennessee is 3-0 in the black helmets. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Okay.
We're
Well,
gonna have
all right.
Kirk, we're gonna have Kirk and Chris on the call.
Okay. Who's going to be calling the Duke and Clemson game? You think Sean McDonough's coming down for that one?
Announcer
Probably
from the
the woman.
Athletics. Yeah, that lady announcer from the Athletics. They'll probably let her get her first.
Okay.
Kate Klubnik.
Probably get her first college football game in that day. No
All
hate to
right.
her.
Well,
She does suck.
well, that will do us. Anything else to add, boys?
For any viewers out there, I don't know how many we have, but do not listen when Cooper says absolute BS.
I heard Holly Rose calling that Clemson game.
Okay. Where can I get Holly Rose's number?
Good night.
That's a good way to
Okay.
wrap it up.
Hey,
That's
hey,
a
Okay.
good way to
Well,
wrap
thank
anybody that watches,
you
we love you
for watching.
Keep tuning in.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to go follow our TikTok, go follow our Instagram. You'll get updates on when we're doing the live shows. That's CFB Corner. It's College Football Corner, fully spelled out here. Make sure to subscribe, like. We're going to be posting more compilations videos. Those seem to be doing really well. We're getting a lot of views there. Thank you for subscribing. We're getting a lot of more subscribers. So make sure to subscribe, boost up the channel. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week. Peace out.